Right now, a KOIN 6 special, celebrating Pride.
Welcome to Celebrating Pride. I'm Chief Meteorologist Josh Kozart.
And I'm morning anchor and Tower Talk live host Emma Jerome. Here at KOIN 6, we're celebrating Pride by taking a closer look at the LGBTQ plus nightlife, arts, religion, food, and sport.
In downtown Portland between Southwest Nato Parkway and 11th Avenue is Harvey Milk Street. It's named after the late civil and human rights leader. The bustling Portland street is the pulse of Portland's vibrant LGBTQIA plus community. But it's been without a gay bar for nearly a year. That's about to change, just in time for Portland Pride.
Right after Scandals closed, I just started putting out feelers.
That's Logan Whalen, one of the new owners of the new gay bar taking shape on Southwest Harvey Milk Street in downtown Portland. The now covered windows is the site of what used to be the bar Scandals, a 46-year-old landmark that closed in 2025, leaving a gap in the neighborhood and the gay community.
This has been a gay bar across the street since 1964. We have really seen the streets just feel, in the winter I would have said dark, and I didn't, nothing bad has happened, it just feels quiet.
Now Logan and his team are hoping to bring light back to the area.
So we're gonna be called Camp, as camp has two meanings: camp, PNW vibes, let's go to camp, let's go camping, all of that good stuff, plus being gay and camp.
Celebrating the campiness of what once was a thriving gay neighborhood is part of what drives Logan to make sure it'll live up to the late Harvey Milk's legacy, who was one of the first openly gay elected officials in the U.S.
This is my barbershop.
Oh yeah, Logan also owns a barbershop. Similar to Harvey, who was a business owner, Logan owns this barbershop just across the street.
I've heard people throw around the mayor of Harvey Milk.
An unofficial mayor of sorts, of an area that's like a city of fun and hope for many people, hoping to reinstate the street's queer identity as his businesses grow.
On this 3 blocks alone, right here in front of the barbershop, there were 8 gay bars and 2 gay restaurants. And now, the evolution has kind of gone back the other way.
And queer representation is needed now more than ever during these uncertain times.
You have a family out here, if it's chosen family, how dare you? But that we get the opportunity, whether it's the barbershop or the bar, to make sure that people feel safe and comfortable and seen, and that they have a place that they can go, that they have friends who welcome them. And that's the kind of people that I have at the barbershop, that's the kind of people that we'll have at the bar, and that's the kind of community that I want to create on the rest of the street. This is the most exciting part, because now we actually get to see the fruits of our labor, of all the demolition and just the cleaning everything out and starting from a blank slate. I think they're just going to be so happy to be back that I don't think we could really do anything wrong. I think people are just going to feel like they're home.
A fresh start coming up to brighten up Southwest Harvey Milk Street as Portland Pride nears.
And we will see you soon.
As we celebrate Pride Month, one Portland area author is using sports and romance to tell stories she says she didn't have growing up.
Former TV journalist and now best-selling author Samantha Saldivar has turned her passion for writing into a career, creating queer love stories, putting representation and joy into the spotlight.
Writing started as a creative outlet for Samantha Saldivar after long days meeting tight deadlines in a TV newsroom. In fact, what began as a passion project for the Emmy Award-winning producer during her spare time quickly turned into something much bigger.
Play For It is my debut novel that came out in October. It's a sapphic sports romance.
The novel follows 2 women breaking barriers in male-dominated fields as a female basketball coach leading a men's team falls in love with a female sports reporter along the way, and readers quickly embraced the story.
The response was awesome online, and it was a USA Today bestseller, so that was very exciting. I had my first book out in the world and just see the response be really positive.
The response has not only been positive, it's been personal. As a queer author, Saldivar sought to write the romance book she always wanted to read but couldn't find.
I was always searching for those kind of romances where I could see myself or see my struggles and my triumphs. And to get to share that and know that other people needed to read that as well was just really satisfying.
Her novels explore themes of coming out, family relationships, faith, and identity.
When you're figuring out your own identity, it can be really lonely, especially if you don't have people to look up to in your life or in media. And I think that's why it's important to have representation across the board and to not just see the hard things and people go through those, but also the joy and the love. And that's why romance is so special.
As queer stories continue finding broader audiences, Saldivar says her books are not just for LGBTQ plus readers. It's an opportunity for everyone to better understand experiences different from their own.
Reading queer books is an act in empathy. You're learning to understand someone. You're in someone else's shoes for 200, 300 pages.
Her second sapphic romance novel, Running Home to You, came out in May of this year. With a third book on the way, Saldivar says she's taking it all in.
I'm proud, yeah, but sometimes it hasn't totally sunk in. So it's still all very, very fresh to me. So I'm just trying to enjoy it one day at a time.
A journey, starting with writing the stories she wanted to read, continuing to grow and help others see themselves represented on the page.
I think that's something we're all kind of looking for deep down, is self-acceptance, acceptance from others, and just to be loved.
Sam's third sapphic sports romance is scheduled to release in March of next year.
Oh, we look forward to that. All right, for centuries, the theater has been a safe haven for the queer community. From cross-dressing characters in Greek tragedies to experimental performances in the early 20th century. And now, more mainstream media of today.
Yeah, in Portland, a new playwriting festival is putting LGBTQ plus characters front and center, making them the focus of the Portland Pride Play Festival. Emily Burris sits down with organizers who say it's a chance for queer audiences to celebrate their stories and see themselves on the main stage.
Tucked behind the Common Grounds Coffee House on Southeast Hawthorne Boulevard, the Fuse Theater Ensemble's Backdoor Theater is a place for marginalized communities to step into the spotlight. For the second year, the intimate venue is hosting the Portland Pride Play Festival.
And we're so fortunate that we live in a community such as Portland, where people do support the queer community and they support the arts.
Artistic director Alasius Unger says the festival covers the full range of the queer experience.
And we do have coming out stories and stories that highlight the very specific things that we go through as a queer community, but sometimes the stories are the same. They're queer characters. Because many parts of our lives are exactly the same as everybody else's. And so we do have plays that are really regular stories, but they feature queer characters.
They're staged readings, a chance to see art in its early stages. Some short scenes, others fully fledged plays.
For us that want to see more queer characters, we need to be on the cutting edge of developing queer stories. There are people writing them. We've found that there are people writing them because they're sending them to us from all over the country, and actually we've even received some internationally. So people are writing them. And if we want to see it, we've got to develop it, which is a part of this program.
That's valuable for playwrights like Jeremy Cole. His work, Encounters, was selected from last summer's inaugural festival to be fully produced.
When you sit there and hear actors bring your story to life, you have moments of going, oh, that's not what I meant at all, or oh, I need to fix that, or oh, wow, that's cool, it worked, people are laughing, they got the joke. Everything, from the little triumphs to, okay, back to the drawing board, and that's wonderful.
This year, after adding more scenes, he brought it to the stage at the Fertile Ground Festival of New Works.
So now it looks like it's going to take off and be its own play. That's really cool. And that wouldn't have happened without all the feedback from the readings.
It's opportunity and representation, inspiring other queer creatives to step into their spotlight.
I love that Portland found its way back quickly and is thriving, and they're small venues, but they're venues all over the place. It's wonderful to see.
It's putting programs like these forward in the community, which is what makes Portland beautiful. It's one of the best things about Portland is having so much focus on arts and culture.
The festival is funded in part by the Regional Arts and Culture Council and the Arts Access Fund.
All right, shows, they run from July 10th all the way through the 12th for a suggested donation of $20, and we have a link on KOIN.com to check out this year's performances. Welcome back to this KOIN 6 special, celebrating Pride. For many in the LGBTQ+ community, the question of faith and identity can feel like conflict.
Finding a church that not only welcomes but embraces them can be tiring and triggering, but one Portland congregation has spent decades working to create a place where people can bring both their faith and their identity through the front doors. For them, radical inclusion is at the heart of the gospel.
I was called to this church in 2003. And I had been serving a congregation in Boulder, Colorado. And Boulder, Colorado was one of the first churches that was open and affirming in the country. And so I came from that ethos and knew how powerful it was. I was really looking for a church that was open and affirming, and they had been through the process, they had the label, but they weren't really living into it. They were a little bit afraid of it. In fact, one member said to me, "We don't want this to be a gay church." And I said, "I don't want it to be a gay church either. I just want it to be a church where gay people can feel like they're welcome here and they're not second-class citizens and they're affirmed and loved." If you think about the people that Jesus welcomed, he welcomed the people that the hierarchy thought were not welcome. And so he was eating, he was visiting with, he was friends with all these people on the margins. And the reality is immigrants and LGBTQ are folks who are on the margins. And I saw the power of ministering and giving people an opportunity to be part of a community because they had a faith, but they never felt like they could be themselves completely. It's just key to who I am and who I think Jesus was about. Somebody asked me once, "How can you serve one church for 21 years? And my answer is, I've probably served about 4 different churches. I've been in the same location, but people come and go, and you know, our emphasis on LGBTQIA+ has meant we have some really gifted leaders. We believe that your sexual orientation should have nothing to do with whether you're welcomed or not. In fact, it should be an emphasis to welcome because so many churches don't.
When you hung the pride flag in front of your church, did people leave?
We had a few that left the church. The interesting thing, though, is that more people have felt welcomed here, and we've created a kind of community because we have been so intentional that's healthier than we were before. But if you're not comfortable with our theology of being a radically inclusive community, like Jesus was radically inclusive, then you're probably not going to be comfortable here. And I want you to be comfortable.
This might be painting things with a broad brush, that you find faith before maybe you discover or realize that you're queer or gay, and then you have this, for lack of a better term, a conflict inside of you.
Absolutely.
Your parents, your school, your clergy, they could say all sorts of things. You could be confused based on what you read. What would you say to the person who has that conflict in them, who knows who they are, who knows who they love, and who also knows that they love God?
I would say our motto is no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. And if you come through the door, you will discover like-minded spirits, and you will find a community of faith that will embrace you. And I can understand why you would have this conflict, because I have heard stories, I couldn't count them, of people who have said, I have been so wounded by my Christian church, by my parents, by all the institutions. I almost gave up on my Christian faith, or any kind of faith. But there's still that hunger, there's still that pull, and it's sort of folks get over the hump and decide, I'm going to take a chance on this place because maybe, just maybe, it'll be the place that will help me thrive. Some people say that my theology is too political. The reality is Jesus was, what he said was extremely political, if it means the well-being of a community. So he was always advocating for people that didn't have their own voice. And so our theology really trusts that when Genesis says that we are made in God's image, that means everybody. no exclusions.
Someone who is gay and afraid to walk through that door, what is your message to them?
You're okay. This church is okay. God loves all people. You have nothing to fear.
The search for community can take many forms. For hundreds of Portlanders, it's found on the soccer field.
KOIN 6 morning anchor Mia Villanueva takes a look at a league, making sure everyone has a place to play.
Portland has proudly claimed the title of Soccer City, USA. But for a long time, finding a true sense of belonging on the pitch wasn't always guaranteed for everyone. Enter the Lavender League, a queer recreational space built specifically by and for women, trans and non-binary players.
It's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for people of all ages and skill levels to come together and enjoy soccer.
For many players, traditional sports spaces didn't always feel welcoming. But here, the energy shifts the moment you step on the field.
In college and high school, I didn't really have anybody or any other queer people on my team, so it's really nice to just be able to be myself out here.
It is remarkable to have your queerness be the least remarkable thing about you.
I would second that.
The league has grown rapidly, now boasting at least a dozen teams with community-trained referees. And while the competition is real, the mission is unified.
I think we just come up every Sunday and we just want to play, whether it's on somebody else's team or our own.
Off the field, even after they wrap up the spring season, the connections continue through Slack channels, prom nights, and even skate nights. A reminder that out here, the best part of the team is the community, running right along with you.
We just want to be gay and play soccer. That's all that we want at the end of the day.
Celebrating pride, culture, love, and food, Friendship Kitchen continues to grow in Portland.
Yeah, as Elizabeth Din explains, for the two women behind this venture, the timing is about having another restaurant and another addition to the family.
We just added things, we're at the line. Most important, the kitchen. Everything is really ready. I just feel so happy.
Jang Tan is deeply happy about her newest restaurant, madly in love with her wife since 2023, Wei-In Tan, and elated to be expecting her first baby in October.
I'm so happy, and it's every day it's like that. Every morning, I was oh, I'm in love with you, baby. I'm so happy for both of you.
On this night, the owners are busy greeting guests at the opening of the third Friendship Kitchen restaurant. This cozy spot on North Mississippi was already home to STEM Wine Bar. Now, it really represents both women in a lot of ways. The Vietnamese food on the menu comes from Jang's love of cooking the cuisine she grew up eating, both in Vietnam and in Washington State. As for the robust wine options, Wei-In was born in Singapore, then spent lots of time at her family's vineyard in France, and now proudly holds a diploma in wines and spirits.
So we offer up amazing wines from STEM, and we offer up amazing cocktails as well. And most of all, the food, which
delicious.
Is food made of love.
I really believe that, it's so important to be intentional about the food that we make, because it delivers energy to people. Yeah. It brings happy memories too. It makes, I was
having that tofu dish with, I was so happy, and I was talking about how I, got that job offer, something.
They take pride in making people feel welcome, like you're right here drinking and eating with their family.
This is Mimi, Wei Wei, and Mojo. We have baby Willem here. We put them everywhere. This will be cover.
Jang is optimistic about motherhood and hopes others will be too.
And I want to spread pregnancy positivity.
Although the long, tough journey to becoming pregnant involved a combined 10 rounds of IVF. That's with both women each enduring the challenging processes, in some ways on their own.
So we did retrievals around the same time.
Yet also going through it all together.
She's so happy to be pregnant. It makes me happy too, because I'm the worrier. I worry about things, and so then she's happy. I'm happy.
And it's divine timing. We had a lot of heartbreaks in our journey, a lot of miscarriages and failed transfer. But I felt the fact that baby is coming on October 16th on our anniversary and her grandma's birthday, it's just like, you know, I'm just like meant to be.
Welcome back to this KOIN 6 special celebrating Pride. Portland is home to a unique sports league of more than 400 women, girls, and gender-expansive individuals.
As Ellie Osborne shows us, Rose City Rollers help folks feel at home here.
Let's be honest, queerness in sports is a long-standing taboo topic, even with the legal and societal advancements in queer issues. Just this year, basketball legend Charles Barkley went viral for a statement he made after the death of the first openly gay NBA player, Jason Collins.
Barkley said in part, quote, "Anybody who thinks we ain't got a bunch of gay players in all sports, they're just stupid," referencing the amount of queer athletes who keep their identity a secret.
Here in Portland, there's a sport that not only provides a platform for queer folks to celebrate their identities, but the sport itself is founded in queer expression.
Never feels like a moment of wondering, like, can I play this sport regardless of how I identify? It always feels like everybody is welcome to skate here.
The Rose City Rollers is one of the largest leagues of roller derby athletes in the nation. And for JB, a jammer on the Heartless Heathers, this league became their community after moving to Oregon from Kansas.
I mean, coming from Kansas, there's like, rules in place now about where trans people can go to the bathroom, about transgender IDs and stuff like that. It's really special to be able to skate here and just be like, I can just be who I am.
As a jammer, JB fights through crowds of skaters to score points for their team. JB says the thrill of such a physical sport hinges on the challenge of brawling against different skate styles and body types. They say each skater at the Rollers chooses an element to describe their impact on the track. JB chose lava.
It feels so good to have a place to play a full contact sport. Yeah. Especially for folks who, were raised female, like there weren't a lot of opportunities to play like football or rugby or anything like that. And so having a place where it is, encouraged, required that we hit each other as hard as we can and keep going. It's an opportunity like I've never seen before.
For the Rose City Rollers, queerness and sports just makes sense together, as the Rollers held their Pride-themed home team championship on May 30th.
Honestly, any time that we have a game is kind of Pride themed, just because queer culture and LGBTQ culture is just really a part of who we are here.
You can see the influence in team names, athlete nicknames. Heck, even the straps athletes use to connect their skates while gearing up for a late night practice. Queerness is the foundation, and community amongst chaos is the heart of the sport.
I had a moment during one of our games where I made a mistake, went to the penalty box, the other team scored like 14 points, and I was like, wow, I probably will not jam again this game. They are not going to put me back in after that. But a few jams later, our coach subbed me in for the other jammer on our team and was just like, hit hard, go as fast as you can. And I was like, wow, that moment of like confidence in me to be able to like perform in this moment meant so much, especially when I was like, they're not going to have me skate again after that.
And that was KOIN 6, celebrating Pride. You'll find more information about all of the stories you've seen today on KOIN.com. And be sure to look for KOIN 6 and Portland CW at this year's Pride Festival and Parade.
And we hope to see everybody there. And thank you for joining us for this KOIN 6 Pride Special. Have fun and stay safe during this month of celebration and visibility.